Good evening. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
His Majesty the King pardons 160 inmates on Eid al-Fitr. Bahrain moon sighting panel to meet on Saturday. Bahrain Hajj mission announced pilgrimage regulations. No permit required in Saudi for Eid prayers at two holy mosques. Kuwait foiled an attempt to smuggle 14,720 liquor bottles.
News in detail. His Majesty the King pardons 160 inmates on Eid al-Fitr. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa yesterday issued a royal decree pardoning and releasing 160 inmates who were convicted in various cases and who have served part of their jail terms. The royal kind gesture marking Eid al-Fitr reflects His Majesty the King's keenness to provide the pardoned inmates with the opportunity to integrate into society anew and participate in the kingdom's development march. Bahrain moon sighting panel to meet on Saturday. The moon sighting panel will convene on Saturday evening to receive news and testimonies about the birth of the new crescent of the month of Shawwal for the year 1443 Hijri, signaling the advent of Eid al-Fitr. The panel will meet at the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs headquarters on Saturday evening, it was announced. The Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs urged the public who sights the new Shawwal crescent to contact the moon sighting panel. The sighting of the moon signifies the end of Ramadan, the 9th month on the lunar-based calendar. In the Islamic calendar, Ramadan is followed by the month of Shawwal. The first 3 days of the month are celebrated as Eid al-Fitr. The Council wished the Kingdom of Bahrain and its loyal people further security, progress and prosperity. Under the wise leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, supported by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. Market inspection stepped up as Bahrain gears up for Eid al-Fitr. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism is stepping up inspections of markets as Bahrain gears up for the Eid al-Fitr. Inspectors conducted visits to busy markets and other shopping outlets, including the Central Market in Manama and the Meat Market. Inspection teams reported sufficient fruit, vegetables and meat supplies at normal prices in the markets, said Assistant Under Secretary for Control and Resources Abdulaziz Al-Ashraf, noting that more quantities would be provided in the coming days. Al-Ashraf said that the inspection visits focused also on shopping outlets, selling clothes, perfumes, shoes and Bahraini sweets and nuts to verify the validity of the promotional offers and prices. Second edition of Ambassadors Council program concludes. The Mohammed bin Mubarak Al Khalifa Academy for Diplomatic Studies yesterday organized the fourth and final session of the Ambassadors Council program in its second edition, with the participation of the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Ardi Hermawan, and the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Bahrain in Jakarta, Ahmad Abdullah Al Hajri. The session was moderated by the Director General of the Academy, Dr. Shaika Munira bint Khalifa Al Khalifa, in the presence of a number of senior officials of the ministry and its affiliates. Bahrain Hajj mission announced pilgrimage regulations. Preparations are underway for the new pilgrimage season in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Bahrain's Hajj quota will include this year a total of 2,094 pilgrims who will be divided among 59 licensed operators. The new regulations for this Hajj season make it mandatory for at least 5 operators to merge together. Only one operator will be designated among them to be in charge of their collective Hajj trip and negotiate with relevant authorities, whether in Bahrain or in Saudi Arabia. The regulation aims to improve services and maintain prices of Hajj this year in light of the reduction in numbers. People aged 65 and over will not be issued permits. Bahrain launched a crackdown on illegal slaughterhouses. A crackdown on illegal slaughterhouses in Bahrain has been launched ahead of Eid al-Fitr next week. The festival marks the end of Ramadan and it's typically a time of feasting, since Muslims no longer have to fast during daylight hours. Effective ongoing campaign to capture stray dogs. A service to report stray animals in neighborhoods has led to a number of dogs being captured and neutered in Bahrain over the past few months. The Animal Wealth Directorate at the Works Municipalities Affairs and Urban Planning Ministry reported that 33 dogs were captured following complaints from residents in the area. Industry Minister chaired Standardization and Metrology National Committee. Industry, Commerce and Tourism Minister Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani chaired the 54th National Committee Standardization and Metrology meeting. The meeting reviewed Resolution 27 of 2022 issued by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to restructure the National Committee for Standardization and Metrology. It assigned Customs Clearance Department Director Walid Yusuf Ajur, Vice Chairman of the committee, according to Article number 4 of the Standards and Metrology Law. The meeting reviewed several technical regulations and related decisions. The Gulf Indicative Guide for Product Safety and Market Survey was further adopted in commitments of the Kingdom to the World Trade Organization. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Health Ministry marked World Immunization Week. Under the patronage of Health Minister Faika bin Saeed Al Saleh, the Public Health organized the World Immunization Week Ceremony 2022, titled Long Life for All. Health Ministry Under Secretary Dr. Walid Al Minia affirmed the efficiency and safety of the vaccines permitted throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Al-Minia stressed that the Kingdom is committed to the prevention of infectious diseases targeted by vaccination by working to implement health strategies, developing and following up the progress of work plans and indicators of local programs, and strengthening national capacity in this field through integration between all levels of health care. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. No permit required to Saudi Arabia for Eid prayers at two holy mosques. The Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has confirmed that worshippers who wish to perform the Eid al-Fitr prayer at the Grand Mosque in Makkah and the Prophet's Mosque in Medina are not required to obtain a permit. The ministry indicated that entering the Grand Mosque does not require a permit, but it is a must to get issued a permit to perform Umrah through Itmana application. Arab oil producers to have a windfall year. The world's economy is forecast to grow around 3.6% this year, but Arab oil exporters are seeing a windfall from high energy prices that will buoy their economies and replenish their financial reserves this year and next, according to a report released Wednesday by the International Monetary Fund. Higher energy prices spell fortune for the region's oil producers, like Saudi Arabia, where economic growth is expected to hit 7.6% this year. Kuwait is forecast to see 8% growth in 2022. Iraq will see the biggest expansion of its economy in the region, with 9.5% growth projected this year. Kuwait foiled an attempt to smuggle 14,720 liquor bottles. Kuwait Customs foiled an attempt to smuggle 14,720 bottles of liquor into the country a few days before the start of Eid al-Fitr. Customs officers grew suspicious of a of a utensils container that arrived from a Gulf country. The container was searched carefully and customs officers found nearly 1,240 cartons containing a total of 14,720 liquor bottles hidden inside, the Kuwait General Administration of Customs said in a statement. Google adds ways to keep personal information private in searches. Google has expanded options for keeping personal information private from online searches. Associated Press reported. The company said Friday it will let people that more types of content, such as personal contact information like phone numbers, email, and physical addresses, be removed from search results. The new policy also allows the removal of other information that may pose a risk for identity theft, such as confidential login credentials. South Korea to relax outdoor mask mandate as COVID-19 slows. South Korea will ease its outdoor mask mandate starting next week as COVID-19 infections and hospitalizations continue to decline, Associated Press reported. Starting Monday, people will only be required to wear a mask outdoors when participating in gatherings of more than 50 people or attending sports and cultural events with potentially large crowds, health authorities said in a briefing Friday. The mask mandate for indoors and public transport will also remain in place. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.